is NJ, your host on this channel. In this video, we will have our discussion on the yearly predictions for the next year of 2023, customized to your Lagna or to your rising sign. So now friends, to begin with, like I have divided this video in two parts. In the first part, I will give you an insight the way slow moving planets and other planetary alignments is going to be influencing all of us on a global level. And then in the second section, we will try to get into the customized areas of your life, like your finances, your job, relationship, all sort of wish fulfillment, how the planetary vibration is going to be influencing you guys next year. And friends, if you have not watched my video for the numerology based calculation, it's my earnest request for you guys to watch that video as well, because from the numerology as well, via calculating the universal year vibration and your customized personal year vibration, you also get to know the theme for the next year customized to your life. So okay friends, before we will start our discussion, I just wanted to wish all of you guys a very happy new year. My earnest wishes that all of your wishes shall come true this year. All of the hard work which you have been putting in, you should get the result of all of your hard work, and this year should open the doors of prosperity, gains, all sort of benevolence in your life. So now friends, like just because I have already uploaded a video as per the numerology calculation, so we have to understand summarized synopsis from the numerology as well before we will dive into the astrology. So definitely friends, next year the energy is going to be of the number 7. If you are going to be making a sum total of 2023, it is going to give you the resulting number as 7, which is a number governed by or ruled by Ketu. So one thing is for sure, if you are going to be putting a lot of dedication, a meticulous approach and attitude towards work, if this is going to be your ethics, your work style in all areas of your life, definitely not only you will attain perfection, but also you will get all sort of due recognition for your hard work as well. Second thing is that friends, on a global level, definitely we cannot overlook this fact that next year in all those communities and countries where they are already going through the concerns of the religious persecution, religious intolerance, so that is going to be all-time high. Now this is one indication which is not only getting validated from the numerology but also from the astrology as well. Now friends, when we talk about in the areas of scientific discovery, innovation, space exploration, regarding that front, next year is creating a very positive energy. And lastly, definitely these days we all are diverging into the cryptocurrencies, all sort of parallel mode of payments and banking. So regarding that front as well, next year is creating a very positive energy. Now friends, shifting our discussion to the astrology. So picking the planet Saturn first and studying the contribution of Saturn throughout the next year. So friends, Saturn is going to be transiting in its Mool Trikona sign of Aquarius on January 17th. So now this is going to be a formal full-time entry of Saturn in this own sign of its. Now just because Saturn briefly transited the Aquarius sign during this year as well, it gave us this insight or a sneak peek, a kind of a trailer that what exactly Saturn has in its mind for us. But now once Saturn is going to enter Aquarius sign formally, all of those results will start getting manifested. Now you can also understand it in this way, that whatsoever hard work you have been putting in from the past 2.5 years, the result of all of your those hard work will start reaping results. Second thing is that friends, because within each zodiac sign there is the energy of 3 different nakshatras. So Satbhisha is going to be the forefront of manifesting the results of the Saturnian energy. Now it becomes very important to understand the innate qualities of the Satbhisha nakshatra. Now friends, as you know that Satbhisha constitutes of more stars than any other nakshatra. So that means that Sadbisha has got a lot of intellectual potential. Sadbisha has got a lot of healing potential. Sadbisha has also got a lot of spiritual potential as well. But like the way many like astrology researchers have come to this conclusion, that when we talk about the mental turmoil or mental anguish and fighting the inner demons, these are the areas where you have to control yourself. So now friends, definitely it all comes down to in which dignity this Sadbisha influence or Sadbisha energy is influencing you. Now let's say for example, if your moon nakshatra is Sadbisha, or your Lagan nakshatra is Sadbisha, or your 10th house lord is sitting in the Sadbisha, then definitely you will perceive or you will experience the Saturnian restraining influence to its intense way. And also friends, if your profession, your life hovers around the signification of the Sadbisha, where we talk about the engineering or technical pursuit, anything to do with the pharmaceutical industry, medicine industry, and these days, just because I keep on coming across these consultation queries that I want to make a foray into the herbs, into Ayurveda business, healing business, so definitely regarding all that front, this transit or this stay of Saturn in the Sadbisha will definitely kind of benefit you. Now friends, the innate quality or the essence of the Sadbisha is about secrecy and it's about scientific pursuit. So let's say for example, if you are a researcher in any field and you have devoted your heart and soul into your craft, so then during this year, this can actually give you some sort of discovery in your craft, in your given field as well. Because at the end of the day, the combined universal year energy as per numerology is of Ketu, which is also promising the similar thing. So very good year for people engaged in the healing business, medicine industry, pharmaceutical, technology, artificial intelligence. All those people will definitely get benefited. Now friends, one thing which I want to say over here is that because even my own moon nakshatra is Sadbisha. With Sadbisha, there has always been one thing which is always advised, that how you handle secrets, like it becomes very important for you. Like there has been all those cases where someone who got access to something which was hidden from the world, which become a reason for the success of that specific person. And in certain cases, just because a secret of this top politician got leaked out in the media, and which became a reason for the fall of that person. So how you manage the secrets and how much attention you give towards the spiritual religious austerities will be at its forefront when Saturn is going to be transiting in the Sadbisha nakshatra. And friends, it becomes very important for all those people like in whose case there has always been a temptation towards the intoxicants, drugs and all sort of hallucinations causing substance. You have to stay disciplined because Saturn's transit in the Aquarius, and within Aquarius in the Sadbisha, can create some trouble regarding the willpower and resistance in these areas. Now friends, because Saturn is going to be turning retrograde as well, so like from June 17 till November 4th, Saturn is going to be in a retrograde motion. So Saturn will start its retrograde journey from the Sadbisha's second pada and will end at the Dhanishta's fourth pada. So these are the time period when the restraining energy of the Saturn is going to be at its peak. Like Sadbisha might be carrying all the good qualities within itself, but when we talk about the mental anguish, so over there Saturn can cause lot of concerns, grave concerns. And also friends, because like the way whenever a planet is retrograde, it gives rise to its cheshta bal. So that is also going to be a time period where if you are abiding by a spiritually oriented, disciplined lifestyle, some breakthrough can also be made. Now friends, now shifting our discussion to understanding the behavior of the planet Jupiter. So guys, Jupiter will formally enter the sign of Aries on April 17th. Now friends, from Jupiter's perspective, which represents wisdom, fortune, good luck, so Jupiter's entry in the sign of its very good friend Mars can be seen as a very good sign, because all the Jupiterian wisdom will get the theme and platform of the fierce qualities of the planet Mars of Aries to manifest the results. But during this year, the vulnerability is that once Jupiter is going to enter the sign of Aries, it is going to come in the influence of the Rahu. So now friends, this influence of Rahu on the Jupiter is going to have a pros and cons attached to it. So the benefit side of this influence of Rahu on the Jupiter is that during this year, a lot many people will transition to different religion. People will transition from one faith to another faith, from one belief to another belief. Technology will play a very pivotal role in the transmission of the spiritual knowledge and wisdom. And also friends, regarding people taking interest and the acceptability of the alternative financial mediums like cryptocurrencies and all of that will also go all-time high during next year. And also friends, regarding the matters of the foreign travels or import export, regarding that front as well, the next year is creating a very positive energy. Now friends, when we talk about the vulnerable side of this influence of Rahu on the Jupiter, so now friends, definitely you will get attracted towards the foreign religion or different guru and teachers and mentors. Now on a financial plane, for the material plane, there couldn't be any better influence of Rahu on Jupiter. But when we talk about the spiritual aspect, when we talk about the true transcendental knowledge, wisdom, and specifically attracting all those guides and mentors who have got good interest in their heart for your well-being, for your growth, so all those areas are definitely going to be in the scrutiny. And guys, also because I mentioned this thing that the next year the universal energy is of 7 is of Ketu. So because all of this influence of Rahu and Jupiter is taking place in the Aries sign, so a lot of intolerance and contrasting opinion towards each other's belief and faith will get experienced, will come to everyone's notice next year. And also friends, like many times what has also been seen that because it's the energy of the number 7, so it will also unravel lot many secrets as well. That too, all those kind of persecution which has been done in the name of religion, which has been hidden from the people's or the public's eye, will also come to everyone's attention, everyone's notice. And lastly friends, if you want to understand the contribution of Rahu and Ketu next year, so friends, next year on October 30th, Rahu and Ketu are going to be changing their axis, changing their signs. So Rahu will make an entry in the Pisces sign being ruled by the planet Jupiter, and Ketu will enter the Virgo sign being ruled by the planet Mercury. So now friends, if you remember at the time when I uploaded a video on Rahu and Ketu's transit to the ongoing Aries and Libra, I mentioned this thing that although lot many astrologers are not in this favor that it is going to be manifesting good results, but I foresee that transit or this ongoing transit as still beneficial. But now friends, Rahu's transit in the Pisces and Ketu's transit in the Virgo is going to be very sensitive, very volatile, with extremities in store for everyone. Now it all comes down to individual. The dignity and role of Rahu and Ketu, nodes in your life, how they have manifested results so far in your life, their dignity. Are you also going through the dasha of either of the nodes? Is your profession straight away come in the purview of any of the nodes? Then it can get determined that in which direction they are going to be manifesting results. Because friends, definitely Rahu's influence on Pisces. Now Pisces is a very transcendental energy, and as you know that Rahu's influence on someone's emotional mental state, like Rahu's straight impact or influence on someone's natal moon, can make you very confused, can make you very delusional, can make you very obsessive. Like Rahu is the chief significator of all sort of psychological problems which are these days found in the society. And definitely Pisces energy can give rise to all these kind of confusion and delusion to its peak. And also friends, when we talk about Ketu's influence on the Virgo, so as you know that Ketu is a very spiritual planet, and Virgo is all about discipline, it's all about the material duties and responsibilities. So Ketu in the Virgo can also cause problem in the form of getting into like a sudden job change, transition in your portfolio, or people getting into unusual vocation, making some wrong choices at their professional front, giving rise to strong enmity, giving you powerful enemies. Now this could be real or imagined, but this could give rise to all these kind of circumstances as well. So now friends, the thin layer lies on your religious faith and how much spiritually oriented you are, because we cannot even overlook this fact that the overlap between the Ketu and Virgo is of the perfection. And when we talk about the mutual overlap of the qualities of the Rahu and the Pisces, so definitely friends, because Pisces has got a very transcendental vibration, and Rahu can actually make you completely submerge in any of the field where you are currently engaged in, like all these people who are in the foreign trade, cannabis business, or art and craft like filmmaking, photography and research exploration of any kind. So completely getting submerged in your craft can also be foreseen with this influence of Rahu in the Pisces. Friends, we only talk about the material side of the Rahu. Like definitely Rahu cannot make you very religious, that is for sure. But when we talk about the spiritual prospect, so you cannot even overlook this fact that out of all these three nakshatras of the Rahu, it's the Sadbisha which is considered as the epitome of spirituality. So definitely friends, it all comes down to the choices you make, the kind of role notes are playing in your life, and basis that you can determine that what kind of results from October 30th Rahu and Ketu are going to be manifesting in your life. So this is something friends which I wanted to say as a part of my inputs for this general universal trend and the behavior and movement of the slow moving planets next year. There are also certain signs which are going to be heavily getting influenced next year because of the movement of the planets, like for example Aries, where Jupiter and Rahu are going to be transiting, and Aries is also going to be receiving the third aspect from the planet Saturn. Then comes the axis of the Leo and the Aquarius, because friends, on Aquarius Saturn is going to be transiting, and Leo is a sign which is receiving aspect both from the transiting Jupiter and the Saturn, and Scorpio as well, because Scorpio is going to be receiving the 10th aspect of the planet Saturn. So okay friends, now we will shift our discussion to your customized Lagna, and we will try to understand the way next year is going to be turning out for you. So friends, we will first start with the kind of spiritual lessons which I have received for your Lagna for the next year. So out of the major arcana cards, I have received the card of the Hanged Man for you people. Now guys, the Hanged Man is a very spiritual card, and this is a card which also promotes the energy of letting go. So now just because during this year of 2023 Jupiter is going to be transiting in your 12th house, so Jupiter's influence in the 12th house is seen as a very cleansing energy, and it actually removes all the obstacles, it removes all the past wounds, memories, bad habits which might have been pulling you back or might be creating an obstruction, hindrance in your growth. So it's my recommendation that you should do a research on this card, because the theme of your next year is definitely going to be colored with the qualities, attributes of this Hanged Man. And also friends, next year, because of the influence of Rahu on your Jupiter, transiting Jupiter, you will definitely see a lot many people questioning their religion, questioning any dogmatic teachings, and a lot of transition in your faith and your belief can also be foreseen, which is completely falling in sync with the energy of this major arcana card. Now friends, now when we talk about the Bhagavad Gita blessings for you people, so that came in the form of the tolerance, and the shloka says the temporary appearance of happiness and distress and their disappearance over time are like the coming and going of winter and summer seasons. They arise from sense perception, and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. And lastly friends, out of all the gods, I have received the god Skanda, which will be kind of guiding you as a guardian angel. So first we will pray to the Lord Kartikeya. So I take refuge in Kartikeya, the son of Shiva, who is the god of six faces that are as red as kumkum. This greatly wise deity leads the army of the gods while riding on the back of his divine peacock. And the blessings are preservation of youth, prowess in the military arts, strategic thinking in politics, leadership qualities in times of peace. So now friends, because we have to first look at the overall theme of this year for you, which we will get to know from the first house. So definitely Venus has got the rulership of your ascendant, and because of the strong dignity of Venus, combining it with the universal year vibration energies and specifically the influence of Jupiter and Rahu in your 12th house, one thing is for sure, that next year, if your aspirations are aligned with the energy of the 12th house, now this could be getting admission in a foreign university, concerns of foreign settlement, starting your own import-export business, progressing in the lines of spirituality. So next year will definitely give you lot many opportunities in this direction. Your actions should be aligned in this direction because of the transiting planets might be creating lot many opportunities in that specific area. Also friends, as you can see that Saturn's presence in the 10th house, that too in the Aquarius sign, can be seen as a very good time of collaborating, doing something very innovative, out of the box. So the lesson for you people is that next year, rather than just following the traditional path, try to do something out of the box. From there, your path of success and recognition might be hidden in those innovative ideas and implementation of ideas at your work front. And definitely friends, talking from the perspective of Rahu and Ketu, so I would say that your 12th house is definitely in a very accentuated state, and Ketu will demand a lot of perfection from you during next year. So now friends, talking about the matters of your second house, the finances. So barring few months, like rather I would say the year might start little bit on a slow note for a lot many Taurus Lagna people, because in the month of January and February, Mercury is going to be transiting from your 8th house, and partially it is going to be retrograde as well. So those are the times when you have to remain little bit cautious. And also friends, in the months of April, May and June, Rahu is going to be getting conjunct with your transiting second lord. So Mercury being transiting in the Aries, that too it is going to be retrograde as well, and being in the influence of Rahu. So during those times specifically, you have to remain very cautious of any online fraud or scams and something. So any sort of scheme which will be introduced to you, which might be looking too good to be true, so you have to remain very cautious in those lines. Now barring the month of January, February and April, May, June, where the financial vulnerability and stress on the account of finances could be foreseen, but apart from that, in the rest of the times, I could see you guys doing good, specifically in your professional front. And if your engagements, your endeavors somehow are connected with the 12th house related matters where Jupiter is going to be transiting, then you can definitely get benefited. I would say friends that during this year it will become very important for you that no matter how much money you are making, there has to be a fixed portion of your income which should be directed towards charity or some philanthropic causes as well, because Jupiter being in the 12th house of charities and Saturn being transiting in your 10th house, that too in its most philanthropic sign of Aquarius. So if only you will be thinking in these lines, then definitely in the matters of your financial inflow, you will experience gains, good flow of income and prosperity in the matters of second house. Only one thing is that because of the transit of Ketu after October in your 5th house, so in the matters of speculation you have to remain little bit careful. But yes, lot many financial opportunities can be foreseen for a lot many Taurus Lagna people in the year of 2023. Now friends, talking about the matters of your 3rd house. So now the saving grace is that during this whole from the past 2.5 years, when Saturn was transiting in the Capricorn sign, it was straight away aspecting the Cancer sign, like your 3rd house, which might have put you in those situations where everyone is trying to teach you, all of your friends are trying to act as your mentor, as your guide, even whether they have the knowledge or not, but they are just trying to push and impose things on you. But now just because Saturn would have moved to the 10th house, and now Cancer sign is not receiving any aspect, so I would say that 3rd house, which represents our hobbies, all sort of recreational activities, travels and all of that. So from the past 2.5 years, if you have been feeling the pressure in all these areas where like friends being acting very demanding or a lot of responsibilities on the account of your siblings, so now you will definitely find relief in all these areas. And also friends, because 3rd house also tells about our initiatives, so regarding the initiative perspective as well, I would say that this year is actually creating some very positive energy for a lot many Taurus Lagna people. Now guys, you have to understand this thing, that the universal vibration of next year is of the Ketu. Now Ketu in Vedic astrology has got the co-rulership of the Scorpio sign. So Scorpio energy, which falls in your 7th house of commerce and trade. So definitely pertaining to the commercial interest of yours, this year can actually give you some very stark, very sudden opportunities as well. And now when we talk about anything to do with the connections and your influence in the society, so regarding that front as well, the only mool mantra which you have to remember is that the more philanthropic and humanitarian front you will keep, the better your public image is going to get enhanced and get benefited on that account. Now friends, during this year, the distinctive part about the Leo sign or your 4th house is that it is going to be receiving aspect from 2 very important planets. So Saturn is going to be giving aspect to your 4th house, and Jupiter is also going to be giving aspect to your 4th house. And like the way the dictum which is followed in astrology is that whichever house Jupiter and Saturn they combinedly influence, in that house some big accomplishment can be made, something big can be achieved in the matters of that house. Now friends, I do not want to get into any conflict or a debate here. I'm not including the aspect of Rahu, because half of the astrology community says that just because Rahu is a imaginary shadow planet, it's an imaginary point, so how can a shadow can have an aspect? So I'm only including Saturn's aspect and Jupiter's aspect. So definitely friends, like let's say for example, if you're working as a interior decor person, you are an architect, anything to do with the being a realtor, dealing in the luxury goods or luxury segment, so all those people can get benefited during this year. Any of the work which you have been putting in the areas of the 4th house, chances of receiving success in that area is very high. Second thing is that friends, now for all those people who could be the first time house buyer and all of that, so this year can actually prove to be very beneficial in those lines as well. Now friends, just because looking at Jupiter in itself is not sufficient, because when we talk about the matters of the housing and everything, we have to take into consideration the individual transit of Mars, and your 4th house lord becomes the planet sun. So we have to take into consideration a lot many things, but just because Jupiter aspecting your 4th house will definitely indicate success in any of the tangible aspect of the 4th house, and getting that degree and sense of responsibility because of the aspect of the Saturn, and that degree and sense of optimism because of the aspect of Jupiter for fulfilling your duties and responsibilities, doing those things which your heart craves for. So next year is going to be very promising in all those lines because of the beautiful aspect which your 4th house is going to be receiving next year. Now friends, talking about the matters of your 5th house. So definitely in your case, Mercury has got the rulership of your 5th house. Now the months which I just mentioned, that January and February, when Mercury is going to be transiting in your 8th house, briefly it is going to be retrograde, and the months of April, May and June, when Mercury is going to be transiting in its enemy sign Aries in your 12th house, it is going to be briefly retrograde, being conjunct with Rahu. So those are the times when you can feel emotional and mental instability, restlessness, degree and state of confusion, and a kind of a chaos or unpredictability in the matters of the 5th house. Like this could be academics, this could be romance, this could be worries on the account of children. But apart from that friends, I would say that the way Saturn is exerting its influence in your actions, in your karma, so definitely 5th house, which tells about your thought process as well. I'm actually looking forward to some concrete development where your mind will definitely be very much focused and aligned towards your duties, towards your goals. Now the one aspect of the 5th house which has got a lot of recreational side attached to it as well. So regarding that front as well, I'm seeing you guys like being in this mode of enjoying life, acquiring some new skill. All those things can be promised, but the only thing over here is that Ketu is going to be transiting in your 6th house till October 30th. After that it will transit to your 5th house. So I would say that whatsoever recreational aspect and aspirations you have, so try to give it priority like till the month of October, because after that once Ketu is going to enter your 5th house, it will definitely create the energy of your mind will be more inclined towards spirituality rather than being superficial. You might act with a perfectionist streak and some sort of rift and breakup in relationship and accessing all the past life talents and being more inclined towards spirituality. So this is how year will end for you. So the last segment of the year might be more filled with the spiritual colors, but rest of the year I'm actually looking forward to some very focused approach pertaining to the prospects of the 5th house, and definitely barring few months like January, February, April, May, June, when you have to remain a little bit careful in the matters of investment. But apart from these months, excluding these months, rest of the time can actually prove to be very good for investments and good return on your investment as well. I would say that because Jupiter is going to be transiting in your 12th house, do not expect any quick returns on your investment, but yes, whatsoever money you will be putting in the form of the investments, in times to come you will actually be very proud of all of your those investments. Now guys, looking at the prospects of your 6th house, so we do not have to worry much on the matters of the 6th house because it's your ascendant lord only which has got the rulership of this house. So you are well equipped and competent enough in handling any of the challenges or issues or matters of the 6th house. Now friends, during this year, first of all, the beautiful aspect is that year will start on a very good note for you guys, because Venus will be starting its journey from your 9th house. Then once it will enter your 10th house, it is going to get conjunct with your Yog Karaka planet Saturn, and then it will get exalted in your 11th house. So definitely year will start on a good note, specifically for all those people who are in job or anything to do with the corporate, like corporate ladder, or going through any lawsuit or something. So, or all those people who have to appear in any sort of competitive exam. So the year will start on a very good note for the Taurus Lagna people. Now guys, briefly, like in the month of August and September, Venus is going to be retrograde. So during those times, things can little bit slow down for you. Now friends, during this year, the beautiful aspect is that Venus is going to be spending a lot of time in your 3rd house and the 4th house. So it is going to be retrograding and moving back and moving forward in the Cancer and the Leo. So now if we will look at over here, in your case, basis your ascendant lord, these two houses are kind of favorable for the Venusian ruled people. So whether you are an influencer, you are a content creator, you are planning to buy a home during this year, or anything to do with the business interest of the 4th house, so all those people will definitely get benefited. So definitely friends, in the matters of your 6th house, I'm not seeing you guys vulnerable. Definitely you will come across as very competitive, and if the 6th house related matters are straight away getting qualified in your case, so just excluding 2 months, August and September, when briefly Venus is going to be retrograde, rest of the time I'm seeing you guys getting benefited in the matters of the 6th house. Now friends, looking at the matters of your 7th house. So definitely Mars has got the rulership of your 7th house. Now the beautiful aspect is that Mars is going to be starting the year from your 1st house and will end the year being transiting in your 7th house only. And as you must be knowing that if you will divide our horoscope, the 12 houses, in 2 parts, like vertically. So the first half generally tells about our personal life, our family life, our domestic responsibilities. And just because of Mars having the rulership of your 7th house of marriage, so definitely regarding the marriage and matrimonial concerns, or anything to do with the buying a home, or being in the fields of real estate, or coming across as very competitive, if you are on a top leadership position and something, so definitely Mars is coming out very beneficial for the Taurus Lagna people. Now guys, see, now the way global situations and circumstances are shaping up, it might not be very good globally, but looking at your Lagna, because Mars is going to be transiting till March in your 1st house only, which again is a good sign. 7th house Lord coming in your 1st house. So for the commercial interest, business interest, anything to do with the matrimonial concerns, it's a very good energy. So I would say that this whole axis and journey of Mars being your 7th house Lord is definitely putting you in a position of power. So friends, I want to be very honest over here, like this transit of Mars and specifically the matters of your 7th house are proving to be very beneficial in the matters of your personal life or your domestic matters. And also friends, just because your 7th house is going to be receiving the 10th aspect of the planet Saturn as well. So 10th aspect of Saturn specifically is a very result judgment giving aspect. So I would say that if you are actually working hard in any of the professional matters, or if you are a sincere seeker of matrimonial prospects and all of that, so you might get the result of all of your hard work as well. Because guys, if you will put the concept of Bhavad Bhavam, so 7th house is 10th from the 10th house. So if 10th house tells about the fame or position, so 7th house tells about the highest of the position, and 7th house also tells about your public image as well. So a very good sign and very good planetary influence, which is going to be helping you, supporting you in achieving success in the matters of the 7th house. Now friends, looking at the matters of your 8th house, so definitely the matters of 8th house are making you kind of prone and vulnerable. Now many people will say that whenever the house lord exchanges or house lord of any Dushtana Bhav goes to another Dushtana Bhav, it kind of creates a Vipreet Raj Yoga. But over here, see, Jupiter is not alone. It is in the influence of Rahu transiting in your 12th house, like after the month of April. So I would say that definitely it is making you a little bit vulnerable and prone towards people who are envious of your success or hidden enemies. So during this year, it becomes very important for you to trust on the right set of people. Do not reveal your secrets to everyone. If you have watched the first half of this video, I have already mentioned over there that majorly Saturn is going to be transiting in the Sadbhisha Nakshatra this whole year, and Sadbhisha has everything to do with the secrets. Like many people who get access to the secret functioning of the universe or any secrets, they become successful, and many times people also face a failure in their life because of their secrets got leaked out in the world. So I would say that trust the right set of people with your information, with your secrets. Do not get involved in any politics. Save yourself or protect yourself from any online scams. So this is something which I want to say for all the Taurus Lagna people, specifically in the matters of your 8th house. Now friends, I want to be very honest over here. Even when we talk about the religious and spiritual flavors for you guys, so because of Jupiter being in the influence of Rahu, this will actually create lot of questioning in the matters of teaching and religious scriptures and all of that. And because of the way global events are going to be taking place, there will be those situations and scenarios when you will actually start questioning your faith and your belief. So I would say that just stay calm and cool in the matters of the faith, religion. Do not be very quick to come to any conclusion, and remain very much cautious and careful while dealing any underhanded activities, putting your trust on people, and also pertaining to the matters of faith and religion. That is something which I want to say pertaining to the matters of your 8th house vibrations. Now guys, looking at the matters of your 9th house. So I would say that this year will generate many travels for Taurus Lagna people. So for any of the concerns of immigration, foreign travels, or getting access to the different mediums of knowledge, or getting the knowledge from different forms of technology and all of that, this year is creating very positive energy regarding those front. Now friends, because Saturn is a very heavy planet, so I would say that when Saturn was transiting in your 9th house from the past 2.5 years, it might have created stiff or sort of confusion with your terms and your relationship with your father, or this could be your dealings and your terms with your mentors, with your guides. But now just because Saturn has moved out of the 9th house, so definitely you will find relief in the prospects of the 9th house. And also friends, many times what happens is that, see, our trine houses are very auspicious because they help us achieve things with lot of ease and grace. But when Saturn was transiting in the 9th house, Saturn does not want you to be lazy and just relying on your luck. Saturn never gives us fruit of any of our hard work till the time we have not earned it. So I would say that definitely luck will start supporting you, helping you in the matters of your bitter relationship with father. If it had happened, you will find a relief over there as well. The only thing is that friends, regarding the matters of your faith and the religious pursuit, over that front you have to remain kind of very realistic, very open-minded, because Jupiter being in the influence of Rahu in your 12th house, and in any case Jupiter is not a very auspicious planet for your Lagna as well. So I would say that during this year your mindset is going to be that you want to create your own identity, own destiny, own luck because of your hard work. So if this is going to be your approach, you will definitely get benefited. And I would say that whatsoever knowledge, wisdom or skill you have acquired in the past 2.5 years, this year will definitely give you the right set of platform for showcasing all of those acquired knowledge, or showcasing all of your talents as well. Now friends, coming at your 10th house. So definitely the presence of Saturn in its Mool Trikona sign in your 10th house can be seen as a very good energy. Now friends, try to understand this thing. Definitely Saturn's presence in any house just creates lot of inertia in the matters of that house. But over here as well, see, the case could have been different for a Aries Lagna person, where Saturn's transit in the 10th house is in a Capricorn sign. But in your case, Saturn's transit is there in the 10th house, but in the Aquarius sign. And Aquarius is a very humanitarian, very scientific, very innovative kind of vibration. So I would say that whatsoever hard work you have been putting in during this year, you might get the result of all of those hard work as well. During this year, you will be very much inclined towards technology, association with the philanthropic humanitarian organizations, acquiring a new skill, heightened interest in technology, and all the parallel and new mediums of the acquisition of knowledge, and even at your work front as well, like whatsoever you have sown in the past 2.5 years, the result of that can also get manifested. And for all those people in whose case, like whether you are a politician, you are awaiting for any like kind of promotion in your government job, any government tenders and all of that. So regarding that front, I would say that Saturn's transit in the 10th house is always a very good sign for the attainment of position, higher power, authority. So if that is getting qualified in your case, so during this year, Saturn can actually give you position and power. Now friends, looking at the matters of your 11th house, of highest of your wishes and your goals and your aspirations. So I would say friends that definitely this is a year because of the influence of Rahu on the transiting Jupiter and the whole energy getting concentrated in the 12th house. It is just giving us this indication that whatsoever you want to achieve, you want to attain, it might demand lot of sacrifice out of you as well. Second thing is that during this year, you do not have to blindly trust on your friends. That is one thing which I can say in like clear writing. So be very cautious and careful around your friends, which all people are actually your well-wishers. And also friends, during this year is creating a energy that there will be a lot of cleansing which will take place, because whenever we talk about the ultimate vision of ours, so even if Jupiter wants to grant to you something, but just because being in the influence of Rahu and being in the being struck in the 12th house, it might demand lot of time, attention, work, restructuring, cleansing before giving you the fruit of all of your hard work. So this is something friends which I want to say, because 11th house is a very important house of our aspirations, of our wish fulfillment. All sort of titles, recognition is also seen from this house, all sort of prominence in the society. So because of which whatsoever is gonna happen in the matters of your 11th house during this year will happen in a very sudden, unpredictable way. And also like being very idealistic is not gonna work for you during this year. I remember like I made a video on the behavioral remedies, personality remedies for all the lagnas as well, and over there as well I mentioned this thing that specific to your lagna, you cannot be very idealistic because Jupiter is a enemy basis your lagna. So I would say that try to remain very street smart, very realistic, be very alert and cautious, which all people are your well-wishers and which all are not. And anything to do like during this year, opportunities, connection, job, business will definitely take you to foreign land, will introduce you to new people, new trends, new custom. So regarding that front, the energy of your 11th house is creating a very positive energy for a lot many Taurus Lagna people. Now friends, specifically looking at the matters of your 12th house. So definitely, because of the presence of two planets in your 12th house, this can be a very good year for immigration or overseas travel, learning, getting your hands on some new knowledge, new field of divination. So regarding all that thing, like, because see, if you actually want to give power to your Rahu just wants you to be out of the box thinker, trying new things, experimenting with new things, speculating with new things. So that has to be your approach and your attitude pertaining to the matters of your 12th house. So now friends, I want to be very clear over here. When we talk about immigration, foreign settlement, travels, 12th house will support you. When we talk about cleansing, like any of the past wounds or traumas or any of those pent up energies which have been troubling you for quite a while, you will get this opportunity to cleanse all those things. Now friends, I want to be very clear over here, because Jupiter is a planet of expansion and Rahu is a planet of explosion, I would say. So in all those cases, if you are not a very spiritually oriented person, you have got a very highly strung nature, and you do not have a control over your expenses, so then in those cases you have to remain very cautious, very careful. This combined influence of Jupiter and Rahu in your 12th house. And not only that friends, Saturn is also going to be aspecting the Aries sign, your 12th house, with its third aspect. So you have to be very realistic in the matters of your expenses. Overseas interest will prove to be very beneficial for you. Try to remain very out of the box thinker, and this approach, this attitude will definitely give you clarity or success in the matters of the 12th house. So this is something friends which I wanted to say as a part of the yearly transit results for all the Taurus Lagna people. For further more updates and notifications on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my Facebook page. Dhanyavad.